Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith and I picked this up at a bargain. It's a Woodland Scenics branch line water tower. It was an open package, all taped up. I don't even know if all the parts are there, but we're going to find out. Plan on putting this somewhere along on our future Barelee Makinet Railroad. So let's open up the package, see what we got, and let's get at it. Alrighty, so getting ready to open it up, and the first thing I noticed was that this was already kind of open, so guess we won't need that. We'll just, well, maybe we will. Hopefully all of the parts are there. Guess we're going to find out here real quick. Been really hit or miss with the last couple of kits that I've done with no instructions and whatnot, but looks like we've got some instructions for this, so I guess that's a bonus. Set that aside. Looks like we've got some string there, and let's see if there's a parts list. Yeah, it looks like there's a general parts list, so let's see if we have everything. So far, so good. Need 2 of these. I only see 1. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, so I think we've got all of our pieces and parts. That's a bonus. That's looking pretty good. Yeah. So there's a couple of, I've looked online as far as what this might look like. Got a couple of ideas. At first, I thought about kind of making it more wood, but the more I think about it, I'm going to kind of go with a very gray weathered feel to this. I mean, after all, this is kind of a somewhat whimsical, I guess, make-believe. Don't really know that I've ever seen a horizontal water tower before, but my railroad, my rules, I guess. And so my railroad's not prototypical at all, and that's not the plan for it. But we're going to see what we come up with. I kind of like the idea of, kind of barn wood grayish look to it all. That would kind of fit with what I'm doing. So I'm going to get all of this together and we're going to start painting. Well, I don't know how long this has been sitting in this package, but I'm guessing it's been years. Felt very brittle, and we need to get to that diameter. And so I'm kind of thinking that by throwing some painter's tape on here, and maybe just slowly rolling this around maybe a broom handle might help form this. So I'm going to give that a whirl and see what that how that comes out. But boy, this is just very, very brittle. It's probably been sitting in there for a decade, if not longer. But we're going to see what we can do. The instructions mentioned that you soak this in water, and that kind of loosens it up, and then you can wrap it around a broom handle, ironically. I found that this socket is within a few thousandths, if that, of the diameter that it needs to be. And so when I place the socket inside this, just give that a kind of a really good squeeze. Okay. By the way, you do need to trim this to fit. And obviously I'm just squeezing that. You can see it's almost perfect diameter wise. So a little tech tip there, you might have a deep well socket. This happened to be a 5/8 socket, but you might have a metric socket or another type of deep well socket that, and again, I didn't have everything squeezed together nice and tight, but trying to hold everything. But you get the idea. That's, once you put some rubber bands around this, like the instructions say, let the glue set, that's near perfect. And definitely close enough to perfect for me. So that's what we're going to do next. You'll need to get your hobby knife, your X-Acto knife, and clean up a little bit of metal flashing. It's really not all that bad when I look at all the different metal pieces and whatnot. The flashing is very acceptable. The casting detail is excellent. Hold that up close. Guess it's wanting to focus on my thumb. But it looks really, really nice. There's wood grain detail in the castings. There's nut and bolt details in the castings. Very nice. So we'll get those cleaned up. It's always a good idea, by the way, anytime you're assembling a model, to make sure that you thoroughly wash and pat dry, or let it just air dry, so that paint and primer can easily be accepted to the parts that you are painting. I personally like using a little bit of Dawn. You can use whatever you want, but that's what I like using. And so we're going to go ahead and wash these up and let them dry, and then we can get some paint on them. As you can see, the socket did a really, really great job at keeping the tank nice and circular. Really pleased with that that end result. That was kind of a cool little find. Really excited about that. So I'm waiting for the glue to dry now, and then we'll go ahead and get things primed. While I was waiting for things to dry, I took a piece of manila envelope and spray painted it brown, and then after that dried, you can kind of see the paper's a little bit blotchy. And I didn't want to get the paper manila envelope too wet, because I was afraid, it would saturate it and get all ucky. So after a light dusting, I took some of my artist chalks and I brushed those on, and then gave a very light dusting of some dull coat. And while the dull coat was still tacky, I brushed on some additional chalk. And if you look closely, it now looks like the bands have some texture to them. They look a little bit corroded and rusty, and I really like the effect that came out. And so I'm going to put these on instead of the string bands that the instructions recommended, and the string that came with the kit. Alrighty, so I have the assembled model in front of me. There were a couple of things that I didn't record in the final production or final assembly of this, and I'll walk you through the video. I got to be honest with you, this I wouldn't call a shake in the bag kit or a shake in the box kit. I would say that it's a introduction to a craftsman kit. I'd say it's a beginner's level craftsman kit. It's going to involve some assembly, and it's going to involve working together and doing some shaping as well as some drilling. And I'll cover all of that in the model. I did add something to the model. I actually added a roof section that went over the pump. We'll get in close to that. I felt that it just kind of made sense that there was some sort of covering that went over the pump that is designed to fill the tank. And so we'll get in close and I'll show you all the extra things that you need to do and all the things that I did. And then you can kind of evaluate it. I'd love to hear your comments. Make sure you throw something down in the comments below, because it's always encouraging to read your comments, as well as encouraging to see some constructive criticism, something that you might bring up that I could have done better. And so that's how we all learn. So let's get up close and let's look at some of the things that you need to be aware of when you go to assemble this model. All right, as we get in close, the first thing I want to point out is when you go to install the string, they don't actually supply chain, they supply string. And the instructions are pretty clear in where to put the string and whatnot, but you do need to drill a couple of holes here. And I found it a bit challenging to do after I had already glued everything together. See if you can get a little closer. There you go. And but still, I ended up doing it, and I would tell you to use a push pin to push the string in when you go to glue it. I think that will help. Unfortunately, I didn't quite follow the instructions and glued the ends on, so it was really kind of difficult. But if you make that mistake and glue the ends on before you drill the holes, that's a little tip for you. You can push the string through, and it might even help you pushing the string through before you glue the ends on. Again, have to drill a hole here. Now, while I'm coming around on the back side, the runs you need to cut, and they give you some wire for that, and they give you some wire to shape the pump plumbing. This is one of the things that I have to be honest with you. I think this is where the kit lacks. And again, just my personal opinion, but I think it would have been a lot nicer if this was cast. But it wasn't. And that could be a cost factor that increases the price of the kit. So something that I'm sure the manufacturer, Woodland Scenics, probably took into consideration. Again, it's a beautiful kit, and I think it's one of those things that even though it may not be prototypical, it's going to look really, really good on your layout. Now, when you form the tank, you're going to have probably a couple of extra boards. And set those boards aside because I'm going to show you where to use them. Now, the instructions also call for string to be used as bands. But as you saw in the video, I preferred to make the bands out of some cardstock, and that worked out really well. They're seamed on the underneath, so you don't really see where they join together. And I think it makes some really nice visible contrast with the tank. Now, those extra pieces of wood that you're going to have, you can make a cover that goes over the water pump. Now, let's see if we can get a little closer in there. I did a video on how to make that corrugated sheet metal. That is and I'll put a link down in the description, but this is the corrugated sheet metal that I made just out of aluminum foil, and it was real simple. There's 2 pieces, glued them together. The slats, the extra slats, are actually what supports the roof, and they run between this bent and this bent, or support, if you want to call it that. And that is really about it. Again, overall, very, very nice model. And as far as painting goes, I simply used some inexpensive Harbor Freight primer, some weathering chalks, and some saddle brown acrylic paint, Vallejo saddle brown acrylic paint for the bands. This is a kit that, as I said, is like a beginner's craftsman's kit. Easily you can assemble this, even if it's your first craftsman kit, in a couple of evenings. So give it a whirl. Have a wonderful day, and you all be blessed.